students. In this video, we will review the August 2024 Algebra 1 Regents. We'll specifically be focusing on part 1 of the exam. If you need additional help to get ready for the upcoming Algebra 1 Regents, go ahead and visit taughtbyty.com to sign up for a session. Grab a notebook and pencil, and let's get started. Number 1, what is the correct factorization of x squared plus 4x minus 12? We will set up our two parentheses and we will ask ourselves two questions. What two numbers, when you multiply, you get negative 12, but when you add those same two numbers, you get positive 4? I know that since the product is going to be negative, one number will be a positive and the other number will be a negative. We can also use our answer choices to support us. Let's try out negative 2 and positive 6. Negative 2 times 6 is negative 12, and negative 2 plus 6 is positive 4. So it looks like we have our final answer. So in our parentheses, we will have x minus 2 and x plus 6. So it looks like answer choice 4 is the correct answer. Let's continue. Number 2, which situation can be modeled by a linear function? Recall that for linear functions, we will add or subtract the same number every time. Let's take a look. A printer can print one page every 3 seconds. So after 3 seconds, there will be one page. 6 seconds, 2 pages. 9 seconds, 3 pages. So it looks like we are adding 1 every time. So that looks like it could be the correct answer. But let's take a look at our other answer choices as well. A bank account earns 0.5% interest each year compounded annually. Compound interest requires you to multiply by a certain growth rate every year. So that's going to be exponential growth. The number of cells in an organism doubles every 4 days. So we should know that in order to double, you're multiplying by 2. So that sounds like exponential growth as well. The attendance at a professional sports team's games decreases by 1.5% each year. Again, this is multiplying by a rate of decay. So answer choices 2, 3, and 4 all represent exponential growth, and answer choice 1 is linear. This is one of the basic concepts in Algebra 1. So just remember, for a linear function, you're adding or subtracting the same number every time. And for exponential, you're multiplying or dividing the same number every time. Let's continue. Number 3, which expression is equivalent to 3 times x squared minus 2x plus 3 minus 4x squared plus 3x minus 1? We can start by distributing the 3 into the first parentheses, and we're going to distribute a negative 1 into the second parentheses. Remember, to distribute means to multiply this number by each term inside the parentheses. Let's see what we have. 3 times x squared is 3x squared. 3 times negative 2x is negative 6x. 3 times 3 is 9. Negative 1 times 4x squared is negative 4x squared. Negative 1 times positive 3x is negative 3x. And negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. We will now take a look at the like terms. So I can see that 3x squared is a like term with negative 4x squared. So we have 3x squared minus 4x squared is negative x squared. If we take a look at our answer choices, all of the answers start off with negative x squared. So it looks like we're on the right track. We will then have minus 6x to be a like term with minus 3x. When we have negative 6x minus 3x, we end up with minus 9x. As I'm looking at the answer choices, we can get rid of answer choice 1, answer choice 2, and answer choice 3. So it looks like the correct answer is answer choice 4. But let's go ahead and finish off our problem. We can see that positive 9 is a constant, and that is also a like term with positive 1. So 9 plus 1 is 10. So that's going to be our constant term. So it's clear that answer choice 4 is the correct answer. Let's continue. At Adeline's first birthday party, each guest brought $1 in coins for her piggy bank. Guests brought nickels, dimes, and quarters for a total of $28. So anytime I see the term total of $28, I know that these equations are going to be set equal to 28. So it looks like all of the answer choices are set equal to 28. So it looks good so far. There were twice as many dimes as nickels and 12 more quarters than nickels. Which equation could be used to determine the number of nickels X that her guests brought to her party? So the problem says that we should let X represent the number of nickels. Let's look at some of the other pieces of information that we have. We can also see that there were twice as many dimes as nickels and that there's 12 more quarters than nickels. So to determine the number of dimes, it's going to be 2 times the number of nickels because the problem says there are twice as many dimes as nickels. And to determine the number of quarters, it says that there are 12 more quarters than nickels. So quarters is going to be X plus 12. So now let's think through what is the value of 1 nickel? So 1 nickel is 5 cents. That's 0.05. And we know that X is associated with that. So we should have 0.05 to represent 1 nickel, and we're multiplying it by X, which is the number of nickels. Then we have 10 cents to represent dimes, and our expression to represent the number of dimes is 2X. And then we have 25 cents to be a quarter, and we have X plus 12 to represent the number of quarters. And of course, all of this should be set equal to 28. Let's look at our answer choices to find the correct answer. So 0.05 should be multiplied by X, so we can get rid of answer choice 3 and answer choice 4 because that doesn't make sense. Remember, X represents the number of nickels, so X by itself should be multiplied by 0.05. The number of dimes is 2X, so we will have 0.10 times 2X. So it looks like answer choice 1 is incorrect. And then the value of the quarters is going to be 0.25 times X plus 12. So our correct answer is choice 2. Let's continue. A student creates a 4th degree trinomial with a leading coefficient of 2 and a constant value of 5. The trinomial could be, by now, everyone here should know that a trinomial means 3 terms. And when we look at all of our answer choices, I'm noticing 3 terms. So we have 1 term right here, another term right here, and another term right here. So all of these answer choices are trinomials. Let's start to eliminate which answers are incorrect. So the problem clearly states that there should be a constant value of 5. Recall that the constant is going to be the term that has no variable attached. It's simply going to be a number by itself. So I'm just looking for a 5 with no variable attached. Take a look at answer choice 1. I do see a constant value of 5. Answer choice 2 has a constant of 3, so that is incorrect. Answer choice 3 has a constant value of 5, and answer choice 4 has a constant value of 3, so that is incorrect. So far, we were able to eliminate 2 of the answers. Let's continue. The degree of a polynomial is the biggest exponent. So when I take a look at answer choice 1, I see the exponent 4 and 2. So 4 here is the biggest exponent. For answer choice 3, I see the exponent 2, and technically X has an exponent of 1. So 2 is the biggest exponent. And the problem specifically states that the student creates a 4th degree trinomial. That means the degree is going to be 4. That also means that the biggest exponent should be 4. So it looks like answer choice 3 is incorrect because this trinomial has a degree of 2, and answer choice 1 will be correct because the degree of this trinomial is in fact 4. The other piece of information that was given that we didn't necessarily need to use is that there was a leading coefficient of 2. The leading coefficient is going to be the coefficient of the term with the biggest exponent. So now that we were able to identify that the biggest exponent here is 4, to find the leading coefficient, we will take a look at the number that comes right in front of that term, and that is the number 2. So answer choice 1 is the correct answer. If you need additional help preparing for the Algebra 1 Regents, go ahead and visit taughtbyty.com to sign up for a session. If you learned something in this video, please go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.